New year, new you, or at least new scrubs, because let's be honest, personal growth is hard, but a great uniform, that we can do. If you work in healthcare, now is the perfect time to upgrade your scrubs with Figs. They're lightweight, durable, super functional, and so soft. Because we all know what you wear sets the tone for your entire day, and that's exactly why I love Figs. Figs makes scrubs for modern medicine. Back in nursing school, I was given these boxy, scratchy scrubs that felt like wearing a stiff paper bag. Figs completely changed everything. They're well-fitting without being restrictive, insanely comfortable, and actually made for people who work in healthcare. They're antimicrobial to help keep you protected, durable enough to survive wash after wash, and look so good you actually want to wear them. With new limited edition colors and styles, Figs is truly putting the fresh in uniform refresh. Scrubs, outerwear, footwear, accessories, you'll look sharp, feel good, and be ready to take on whatever your shift throws your way. 2026 is here, so let's do this. Take 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com with the code FIGSRX. That's wearfigs.com, code FIGSRX.
Rinse knows that greatness takes time, but so does laundry. So Rinse will take your laundry and hand-deliver it to your door expertly cleaned. And you can take the time pursuing your passions. Time once spent sorting and waiting, folding and queuing, now spent challenging and innovating and pushing your way to greatness. So pick up the Irish flute or those calligraphy pens or that daunting beef Wellington recipe card and leave the laundry to us. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Hello there, I'm Nurse Mo, and welcome to Mo's Monday Minute, a quick shorty episode that I release on Mondays. And this one is going to look back at the episode that was released on Thursday. We're going to be doing a pod quiz about that topic. I'll ask a question, pause for a minute, give you time to answer, and then tell you the answer. It's a great way to test your understanding of the topic and prepare for exams or one-on-one with the patient at the bedside. And if you like this type of quizzing and reviewing of information, then you need to check out Study Sesh, where I go through pod quizzes on a ton of different disease conditions and must-know nursing knowledge. So check out Study Sesh if you enjoy this pod quiz. Let's get started. This pod quiz is about the LeFort Osteotomy, which was the last episode that you listened to last week. So question number 1 is, what is the number 1 nursing priority after any facial surgery, including a LeFort osteotomy? If you said airway, you get a huge gold star. Yes, absolutely right. Keeping that patient's airway patent, making sure it's patent, assessing patency, all of that, high priority. If your patient has clear, watery drainage from the nose, what could this potentially be? That could be CSF, indicating a cerebrospinal fluid leak. You'd want to let the physician know immediately, as they will likely want to send that fluid to the lab for testing to confirm. Which cranial nerve is most commonly affected during a LeFort 1 procedure? That is the trigeminal nerve. As a reminder, the trigeminal nerve transmits sensation, so that's its sensory function, transmits sensation from the face, and its motor function is that it is involved with chewing. So if your patient has damage to the trigeminal nerve, then eating is going to be difficult for them. And noting that nerve damage does take quite a long time to heal. Hopefully it is transient. Though the patient will not be chewing for a while, like 4 to 6 weeks, that nerve damage could still be in an effect when they are resuming a softer diet, a chewable diet. So definitely something to be concerned about. Why is proactive nausea prevention really so important in a patient with a recent LeFort procedure? That is because vomiting with the jaw wired or fixated closed can lead to airway obstruction. It can lead to aspiration, which can lead to pneumonia. So, very, very serious consequences. What is a little nursing hack that I shared in the episode for suctioning the oral cavity? That would be using a flexible tracheostomy suction tube instead of that stiff Yankauer. Your patient has been instructed to increase oral intake after surgery to maintain their fluid volume status. What are you going to instruct them not to do? Do not use a straw. They should be drinking through a cup or initially possibly through a feeding syringe until they're a little bit more comfortable. What position should the patient maintain after their procedure to reduce swelling, post-op pain, and aspiration risk? That is an upright position. Excellent. I mentioned quite a few things that the patient should avoid doing after their LeFort procedure. I'm going to give you a minute. Try to name as many as you can. Alrighty, so again, no straws, that's important. They should avoid blowing their nose. They should not go flying. They should not go scuba diving. They should not go swimming. They should avoid strenuous activity and definitely avoid contact sports. They should also avoid smoking and brushing with a stiff toothbrush. There's probably other things, but those were some key ones. I hope this pod quiz helped you review that episode and test your understanding of how to care for these patients. Again, if you like pod quizzes, definitely check out Study Sesh. I'll put a link below that in the episode notes, or you can just go to my website and click on courses in the top menu bar. I will see you soon. Bye for now. This podcast is brought to you by Straight A Nursing, a proud member of the Airwave Media Network. For more educational podcasts, check out airwavemedia.com. And for more nursing-related content, go to straightanursingstudent.com.
Have you ever thought about what would happen if your airline window popped out? Or if you could build a jetpack using only machine guns? Turns out you can, but you really shouldn't. Hi, I'm Jill Chacha, host of a podcast that's for weird people who like learning about weird stuff. It's called Well, That's Interesting, and it's a comedy science-y show that tells the story behind the facts because, as it turns out, those stories are funny. The facts are bizarre, the stories are epic, and the laughter is plentiful. So, join the flock and listen to Well, That's Interesting wherever you do podcasts.